Find some gold. Find some gold. Finding some gold. Find some gold. Find some gold. For some gold.
Whoa, Lucius, what are you doing?
My name's Manoa.
Manoa, right. Sorry, you look like Lucius from behind it. What you doing?
Just trying to pan for some gold.
Panning for gold? I didn't know there was gold in these here parts.
Ooh, Nelly! I found myself some gold. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich. I found some gold and you didn't. So I'm gonna be rich. Here, take a look at that one. Gonna be rich. Gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich.
Manoa. Oh, Manoa, no. I got some bad news for you. This isn't gold.
Yeah, it is.
Nah, it's called pyrite. It looks like gold, feels like gold, but it's actually, they call it fool's gold. It's just a mineral. It ain't worth nothing.
But I wanted it to be gold. I wanted it to be gold.
Well, you know, I mean, just because you found pyrite doesn't absolutely mean that there's no real gold around here somewhere. I mean, it certainly is maybe possible.
Okay, so I'll find some gold. I'm gonna find some gold. I'll find some gold. Find some gold. I'll find some gold and I'll find some gold. Hey guys, it's me, the new guy, Lucius. No, guys, I don't even look like a Lucius. I don't know why Polymer Pack keeps messing up my name. You already know it's me, Manoa, and welcome back again to another high-touch, high-tech lesson. And today's lesson is going to be called Gold Rush, where we're going to be digging for some gold. No, guys, don't dig for gold in there. That's gross. Do that in private. Privacy. No, we're gonna talk about a time called the Gold Rush, and we're gonna be learning about different things of the earth. Okay, but before we do any of that, we're gonna take a look at what we need for today's lesson, which is we need the bag. That has a bag of dirt in there. There are some strings, a little magnet, a bag of glue, among other stuff. All right, and then from inside of your envelope, make sure to grab this piece of paper. It looks like a whole bunch of rocks, a bunch of gems. Okay, this is from your envelope, and then not included are these things that we definitely will be needing, which are a pair of scissors, please grab that, and some sort of pan, a bowl. You could even take a frying pan of some sort, but I'm gonna use a pan. If you have a pie pan, I'll be even much better. All right. So once you get all of those, then, well, let's take a look at this picture here. Do you guys know what this is? Yeah, that's the planet Earth. That is where I live, where you live, where we all live. And there are special scientists that we call geologists who study about this planet Earth. But what is it that they study of this planet Earth? Well, they study about what it's made out of, which is mainly things like rocks, gems, and minerals.
What is the difference between a rock and a gemstone?
Great question. Well, you see, a rock is made up of usually many different minerals inside of there, whereas if you get yourself like a gemstone, it's made up of a few or even sometimes one single type of mineral.
Where do all these rocks and minerals come from?
Another great question. Well, to help us understand about this, we gotta take our planet Earth and watch out! Sorry, I don't know Kung Fu, but inside of the planet Earth, you got multiple layers. It kind of looks like cake. No, I cannot eat this. Anyway, Inside of there, we got layers, 4 different layers, as you can see on the outside, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So let's go over these layers of the planet Earth. The very outside of a planet Earth is what we call the crust, kind of like your pizza. The crust is on the outside, and guess what it's mostly made out of? Rocks. Yeah, what we're standing on right now, what I'm jumping on underneath my house, guess what? We got rocks. If you go that way, you'll find rocks. Do you know what the mountains are made out of? Rocks. Do you know what you find at the beach? Rocks. Do you know what's under the ocean? Rocks. It's nothing but a whole bunch of solid rocks that this crust is made out of. But if you dig deeper and deep enough, you'll get to the next part of the planet Earth called the mantle. Now in there, what happens is that these rocks, just like ice cream on a hot day, if you spill it on the ground, it's gonna melt. Same thing will happen with this rock. It will melt in there and turn into magma, or we call it molten rock. Okay, so in any case, inside of there, these rocks melt inside of the mantle. But there are more layers underneath that. We got 2 cores, which are called the outer core and the inner core. And in the outer core, it is even hotter. It's so hot that these rocks and metals will start moving like water. Whoa, like liquid. Okay, it turns into liquid metal. So basically, if you have like your computer or your TV, your car, you put it in the outer core, it's gonna turn into liquid, like this liquid metal. Whoa! It's because it's way too hot. But guess what? That's not the only core. Like how I said, there's the outer core, which we just talked about, and then there's the inner core, which is even hotter. It's almost as hot as the surface of the sun. And guess what? It's just a solid ball of iron. It's the biggest magnet near our planet Earth. Inside, way deep in there, it's a solid ball of iron, kind of like, you know, the iron or the legs of some of the chairs that we have, right? Solid ball of iron. But in any case, those are the layers that we find inside of the planet Earth. And remember, who are the people that found out about this? Was it the mailman? No, we call them geologists, right? So now that we understand about these different types of minerals and the rocks, right, that form the planet Earth and the different layers, well, we're gonna talk about a time, about 150 years ago, when people came to California, knows how to party. California. Sorry. They didn't come here to party. They came looking for this, and these people were called prospectors.
What is a prospector?
Good question. Now, to tell you what a prospector is, I gotta get in character. Howdy, cowboy. No, this does not make me a prospector, but people, basically from 150 years ago, they came and brought their pickaxe and their donkey. Yeah. And, well, I don't know why I have to say the donkey, but anyway, they came all over to California with their pans, right? Went to the river looking for something like this. Because if they found some real gold, they would have been really rich. But Polymer Pat had to tell me that this is not real gold, guys. It's not. Yeah, so sometimes people found fool's gold like this. Sometimes they found real gold, right? Sometimes they found other stuff like gems, really beautiful rocks, right? But in our next experiment, we're going to see how it is that these prospectors were able to find their gold. Here we go. All right, so let's do our panning for gems experiment. But before we do this, grab yourself the identification sheet, whole bunch of pictures of rocks. Grab yourself your pan. Again, it could be any sort of bowl if you need to. A pie pan would work really good. Even if you need to, a frying pan. And then also the bag of dirt that came from inside of what was included. Okay, so before we kind of dive into this, prospectors and the way that they were able to find these gold is, well, first, they came to California, of course, and what happened was that they didn't just hack away at the mountain. Well, the water already did that job. The water, when it rained, it kind of broke down the mountain, and what happened is it would carry all of these little pieces of sand, sediments, down the mountain, and along with it came gold and other gems. And so all the prospector needed to do was just go right next to where the water was, like the river or the lake, and they would just take their pan, you know, put some water, put some dirt in there, and then sift it, shake it a little bit, find some sort of way to get rid of the dirt, right? Find some sort of way to differentiate the dirt from your gems, pick it out, and that's how they were able to find their gold. And we're gonna kind of do the same thing. And so go ahead and grab your bag of dirt, open it up, pour it all out. And as you can see, there's already a whole bunch whoa. A whole bunch of gems. All right, so now all we need to do is just identify as to which gems these are. Now we're going to be not just prospectors, but also geologists. Okay, so go ahead and try to match the gem to the picture. Okay, so like as an example, if you take a look at that one, which one does it look like? Does it look like that one? No, obviously it looks like this one, and you can see right there next to it, it says hematite. So you and your parents or some sort of grown-up that is next to you can help each other out to find out what type of gems these are. Yeah, and just take them, and I try to identify, try to match the gem like so. Okay, so eventually we got ourselves most of the gems. You could take all of the gems from inside of here. Of course, we don't want to keep any of the dirt, but when you take a look at what you have, you can kind of guess as to why they called it these. Like even the tiger eye. Do you guys know why they call it a tiger eye? Well, it kind of looks like the stripes look like, you know, the eye of a tiger. And what about the Dalmatian jasper? Do you know why they call it Dalmatian jasper? Well, it's got little spots like Dalmatians. Even the peacock copper has the same color as the peacock. That's why they're called peacock copper. Now this one I can't figure out. Do you know why it's called the blue calcite? It's because it's blue, of course. Same thing with the tangerine, same thing with the green calcite, same color. But in any case, from this we can again be geologists, and it's geologists who are the ones who have identified these rocks and gems and minerals that we have here to be what we call them now. Okay, so now that we've done that, there's a few things that we can do now, a few tests that we can do that geologists sometimes do, which is not only do they identify them, but they also check, well, if they are magnetic. Okay, sometimes they check if they're magnetic, right? So I'm gonna take the magnet from my bag to see as to which one of these rocks are magnetic. So do that with me. Go ahead and grab your little tiny magnet and just kind of hover over the rocks to see which ones are magnetic. None of these are. Nope. Nope. Oh, my tiger eye is magnetic. Okay. What else? Oh, one of my hematite is. Now, not all of these are magnetic, but for sure the ones that are magnetic were probably that came from the inner core, because the inner core is just a giant magnet, a solid ball of iron, and some of that sometimes seeps out onto the crust, and so that's why it becomes magnetic. Remember, these are just rocks, but just a short little test that we could see the magnetism of these rocks. Then after that, what we could do is we could do what I call the streak test, just to see which one leaves a streak. So I'm just gonna demonstrate a few, and then you could do the rest, is check all of your gems to see which one actually leaves a streak. But you know, all it is you're just gonna take the gem, make a streak, try to make a streak on either the white side or the other side of your little tiny tile. So go ahead and grab your tile, pick any gem. I'm gonna pick my raspberry quartz, and as you can see, if you just rub it like that, it's not making a streak, right? If you take another one, let's say you got peacock copper. Whoa, we got a streak, and I barely even touched that. So here, we got something that makes a streak, whereas the raspberry quartz couldn't, right? So just something short. Now I'm only gonna do those two, but for you, you can do all of your gems to see which one makes a streak. Now, one of the last tests that we could do is what we call the hardness test. Okay, where it's basically, there was a scientist by the name of Friedrich Moss, all right, and he was able to make a scale between 1 to 10, 1 being very brittle type of rocks, kind of like chalk, okay, compared to something that is very, very hard, 10, the hardest being something like diamond. Diamond is actually one of the hardest minerals, one of the hardest rocks that we have. So in between that, you got some that are soft, right? Lower numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and harder rocks like 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just basically take the paper clip, kind of have it, bend it over so that it becomes pointy, and you just want to take a few of these rocks and see if they are brittle, soft, or hard, right? So you just take that, you know, just kind of scratch it a bit, see if it's strong like this one. Yeah, the amethyst here is very, very hard. All right, so let me try this one, the optical calcite. Let's see. Ooh, this one's really scratching off. Wow, this one's very brittle, very soft. Just scratching it. So this one would be considered as a 1 probably on Mohs scale because it's so brittle. Well, I could even see powder already. Yeah, that would be kind of like a 1. Whereas, you know, maybe the tiger eye, let's see. Nope, doesn't really scratch. Tiger eye might be a 5, 6 and above probably because it doesn't really scratch, right? But just kind of check to see, you know, which one's soft, which one's hard, kind of doing what he was doing with all of these different types of gems. So again, that's a hardness test that we could do. But last thing that we could do that's pretty cool is we can turn these gems into a beautiful necklace. All right, so all you need to do is just grab the little tiny pendant for that, the lace as well for a necklace, and your glue along with your pair of scissors. All right, so all you need to do for this one is we're gonna put whatever, you can pick whichever gem that is your favorite. Now my favorite among all of these are my peacock copper. So I'm gonna take my peacock copper and I'm gonna put it on there, and you could just put 1 of your gems, you could put 2, you could put all of them, okay, as many as you can, okay, but the way that we want to do this is you're going to take the glue, right, snip off the edge, put the glue on there, and put the gems on top. So let's do that together. Go ahead and take your glue. What I like to do is I like to take the glue away from one of the corners so I can snip that right off. Okay, just take that off. There we go. And after that, just take the glue, squeeze it out. Now I'm gonna kind of cover this because I do want to put more than 1 of my gems onto here. So that is pretty good, okay? And you could stack them on top of each other if you want, but I'm just gonna put 1 right there. And I also like my pyrite, even though it looks like real gold, it's not real gold. I'm gonna put my pyrite around there. Maybe let's put a Dalmatian jasper on there. Maybe one of the, let's put an amethyst, right? And that's good for me, but you could do however you want, okay? And then what we could do next is to turn this into the necklace, right? So how do we do that? Well, if you take a look closely at your pendant, there's a little tiny hoop right at the very tip, okay? And all you want to do is you just want to grab your lace. There are 2 sides. There's a part that has little tiny chains and then the other part that has the hook, okay? So just grab the chain part and put that right through the loop or the hoop of your pendant, okay? There you go. Just loop it through, and then the chain will go onto the hook, okay? And on the hook, there's a little part that you just pull back. Once you pull that back, it opens up the mouth, see that? And then just hook that into one of your chains, like so, let go, and ta-da! Now I don't wanna pick this up because my glue is still wet, so just let your glue dry, and then afterwards, you could just go ahead and take that off, put it on your shelf, give it to yourself. You could also give it to your mom or your sister if you want, whatever you want. But as we could see, we got ourselves a beautiful little tiny pendant with our favorite gems on there. Now again, you don't have to put all of your gems. You could just put one, you could put two. You don't have to put any if you don't want to. But that is a cool thing that we could do with these gems. Now remember, all of these are yours. You get to keep them. So you could either just leave them on this sheet or you could put it back in the bag. The way I like to do it is I just like to fold it on the outside, keep your bag open, and donezo. I still have all my gems. And there you go, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun being a prospector. And until next time, I will see you in California. Just want to give a big thank you to our guest scientist for today. Thank you, you did such a great job. And if you guys want to be a guest scientist, just shoot us an email and we'll see what we can do about getting you on the show with Mega Manoa. Ooh. Yeah, so just shoot us an email and then we'll see you soon.